Hi, this past week we talked about language. I really appreciated all of the discussion points you guys had related to animals. Um, Obviously, language and communication are interconnected, and you can communicate in other ways besides using words. And there are a couple of different ways that we can look at this. I'm an autism evaluator at Copper Country Mental Health, and so I'm always looking at social communication and if a child is considered verbal or nonverbal. And nonverbal ways of communicating are doing things like gestures, shrugging your shoulders, shaking your head, nodding your head, I don't know, don't do that. And if we're making eye contact while we're communicating. If we point, that's a big one. So I'm going to give you just a quick example of what I would do if we were in person, an activity, and I do it in 3 different steps. The first one is I would tell you guys that I was going to ask you to do something, but you're not allowed to talk or use gestures or any motions before I tell you what I'm asking you to do. And then I would ask you guys to get in order from a designated start point to end point for your birth dates from January 1st to December 31st. Now, this is always really interesting watching people move because how do you know? You just kind of guess where on that scale your month is. Then, after everybody's settled, I ask everybody to communicate only using nonverbal communication. So you can use your hands to communicate, your foot to scratch out a number. Most people will use their hands doing something like and reorder themselves if they need to. And then the third thing I say once everybody's settled is that you can use your words. And, once we use words, we usually end up in the right order. But we generally do not start in the right order. So that's just an example of how important communication is on just different levels. I really like the Coco video because when I was a kid, Coco was everywhere because it was such a instrumental part of looking at how animals communicate. So great job on communication, and this next week we're getting into intelligence. So please watch that video, and we will continue with research papers. Have a great